Hey everybody, in this episode of Box Office Breakdown, Ocean's 8 steals away the box office. But how did Hereditary do? Especially, what did we all think about it? We'll tell you all that and more next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Look at that.
Oh boy.
The box office isn't just hot, so is this studio. On this episode of Box Office Breakdown. Look at this, 4 people strong. Or 3.5,
Wait,
depending
green,
on
it
how
matches
Neil's
my hair
doing.
then.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. Of course, as always, you know this is a show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we...
Oh. That was
Beautiful.
great.
About the box office that lie ahead. I'm Frank Moran.
And I'm Kari Lane.
I'm Amy Cassandra Martinez.
And I'm Neil Plumley.
And
That sexy voice.
That's right, look at that.
Listen up, folks.
Yes.
My name is Neil.
Oh, I love it. And making sure you can hear that voice and look at that sexy face is none other than Anthony in the booth.
He's giving me a run for my money right now, but I got you, Neil. I got you.
Look at that. And as folks, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and while you're there, why don't you give it a thumbs up, or 2 thumbs up, 3, 4, however many thumbs up you have available, go ahead and do that. And we're going to have the chat up and running, so feel free to share your thoughts about any movies you've been seeing, or these movies we'll be talking about in particular. But of course, Kari, if they're watching after the show stream live,
You can comment down below.
look at that, just that easy.
Which you guys did comment a lot on the last one, which is good. I don't know, you fluctuate. Sometimes y'all are really chatty, which is great, and other times everybody's like, no. But yeah.
Well,
We want to see your comments.
before
Like
we
we got our
dive
live
into
chat
everything,
right there.
our boy, Neil Plumley, been a little under the weather, been occupied. But you're back. We've missed you.
Thanks.
How have the movies been for you lately?
Listen, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I had to play catch up. Because the summer's on a tight schedule. You know, coming up next weekend. What do we have next weekend? Jurassic World? Incredibles.
Do
And then
Tag
after that,
as well.
and Tag, and Jurassic World after that. And it just keeps going and going and going, and it doesn't stop until like August. So this was the heaviest week for me because last week Upgrade came out and I missed it. I had plans to see it, but they fell through. And this week it was 3 movies that I wanted to see: Hotel Artemis, Ocean's 8, and Hereditary. I missed Hotel Artemis because I wanted to play catch up with Upgrade, so I saw 3 movies this weekend.
Oh, man.
It was great.
Well, look at that. Well, before we jump into our top 5, real quick, because I know Upgrade came out last week. It didn't do as well as we had hoped in terms of the box office performance. But as a film in itself, what did everybody think that hadn't seen it since last week?
Damn.
Fantastic.
Damn.
God damn.
It had everything you wanted. It had a twist that wasn't a twist. Like the twist that you saw coming that wasn't the actual twist. I was talking about that after the movie. I'm like, sweet, great, awesome. I'm glad because when it started off, I was like, oh, well, that's the twist. And then that happened. I'm like, yeah, see. And then the other thing happened. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay. You get a little switcheroo on me.
No, I
Gotcha.
felt like the film did a good job of, like, if you've watched a lot of those kind of genre films, throwing you red herrings about what you think the twists are going to be.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, that person that was talking at the beginning, they're going to be guess what?
Yeah.
What I love though, I actually really enjoyed this movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, I came really enjoying this
Right?
baby.
We were saying
Yes.
Look at that.
good.
Look at that.
Logan Marshall Green though, I'll give a shout out to him. His performance, especially in those action sequences.
We were just talking about that
Phenomenal.
beforehand. I was saying to Amy beforehand, an actor there's certain actors who can and cannot take to choreography very well. He obviously can, but not only that, he took to choreography that was very robotic and very original from the neck down, and then the neck up was just all acting. Incredible. Unbelievable shit. Before this movie, I thought I was calling him like, discount Tom Hardy. Psst, no longer. He is not.
Nope.
He is the real he's the real deal.
Yeah.
He's just got
Unbelievable
an
work.
upgrade.
Oh,
Go
that
home.
was
That's
Or
right.
there's like parts where, depending on like how much he's doing stuff, like the posture is so specific and it's visually so entertaining to watch it, and comedic too. Like so much comedy that you're like, what? Did you enjoy the comedy and action?
I did. I did. You know what I didn't enjoy though was that car that the wife has.
What?
Yeah, that gold plating,
Atrocious.
that was an ugly car.
It was an ugly
Atrocious.
car.
That
I
was
kinda
an
liked
electric
it.
laser.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Well, especially that it was all like gold encased,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
That
I don't
reminds
know
me why I don't want an autonomous car.
Oh, true.
that it'll
saying.
get hacked, and then
Or something, yeah.
You know.
The only time that'd be good is like if you're really tired or if you're intoxicated or something, then you shouldn't drive.
But then you get an Uber or Lyft,
Yeah.
not sponsored.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, that was a very fun time at the movies watching that.
Yeah.
Yes. So not disappointed in that at all. But let's get into the top 5 and talk about a film that I was a little disappointed by. Coming in at number 1, Ocean's 8 from Warner Brothers, $41.5 million. Thank you, Anthony. It does have the distinction of having the biggest opening weekend of any of the Ocean films.
Ooh.
But
The ladies one did it.
there you
Yeah.
go. All right, Neil, you saw it.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked what's her name, Aquafina.
Mm-hmm.
She was fun. I didn't really know what to expect from her, but I liked how she brought like a lot of levity to each scene that she was in. So I really appreciated that. I thought the beats moved a little jaggedly around the middle of the second act, and then at the end, the little like surprise reveal at the end, I was a little let down by, because I'm like, that's more work. It took 4 people to do it, and y'all shouldn't have cut in everyone else. You should have just done that for you. So that was like, okay. Also, it would have been cool if that was part of it, because it was already like a little bit of a, I mean, it's very complicated, sure. But the way that they were all prepared for it, I'm like, that's kind of like a easy heist.
That was my one thing about this whole film, is that it just felt too easy. I love a good heist film, but it just felt there was even, I mean, at the end, you go into watching these films that they're going to face some adversity, but in the end, of course, they're the quote unquote heroes of the film. So they're going to come through, but it's the fun of seeing how they can pull this off, given all the obstacles that get thrown at them. And I just never felt like that sense of like they were ever on the ropes at all during this. And so I was just kind of like, they were, the performances were really nice, but I just, the story and the lack of real suspense to this was just kind of disappointing to me. Amy, did you
I
see it?
haven't seen it.
Oh, you watched Ocean's 11
I like
in
that the
preparation.
ladies didn't get to it.
I really wanted to, but I had no time. But a spoiler, not
leave me
spoiler.
hanging.
Oh,
was
I didn't know what you
high
were. I
five.
thought you were doing talk
Me
to the
too.
hand.
No,
I'm like, I'm sorry.
I didn't have time either. That I was like, same.
Okay.
I wanted to.
But I did do a little bit of research because I hadn't seen any Ocean's
Wow.
movies at all.
What'd you think of Ocean's 11?
Ocean's 11. It was interesting. It was kind of fun though, with just everyone popping up. That you're like, oh, hey, Topher Grace, what? Julia Roberts. I had never seen it. Didn't know anything except George Clooney and Brad Pitt. So it was fun. So I'm getting there.
No, all right. Well, there's a conversation between Debbie and Lou, played by Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett, kind of like midway through the film when Debbie's kind of let loose like what her other like con within the con is happening, and they really have a difference of opinions about what they want to do, and then that just gets tossed.
Yeah.
And you're like, huh? Wait, this was to be such a sticking point for Lou to then just get cast away at the end. I'm like, all right, why do we even have this moment in the film?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not a terrible film, but it's also just not as much fun as you would hope it would be.
See,
I still had a good time.
Neil didn't. He was sick, guys.
Most
Listen
people
to
I
him.
know who've seen it have been enjoying it, saying, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Carrie, does that affect anything like for you going into the movie now that
I
we
want to
haven't
see it
seen
anyways. I still want to anyways, and as long as generally people say fun, I'm like, sounds great. That's what I want. I want my movie generally entertaining of some way, shape, or form. Either, which we'll get to that in a second of another movie.
Oh, bring it.
Would you, Neil, after this, would you want to see another film in this series?
I would.
Would you?
I would want to.
Interesting.
Partly because the Ocean's 11 cameos were fun. There was only like one.
It was 2.
Well, yeah.
1.5, I guess. Well, yeah.
How can it be?
But they're fun. I liked them. Especially the first one. I was like, that fits.
Yeah, but even like, well, I mean, we see if you've seen the trailer and stuff, you know that Sandra Bullock, supposedly Danny Ocean's dead in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows if he is? Who knows not? You have to watch the film and find out. Where that goes is just kind of like, okay, sure, whatever. All
I'm
right.
pumped. I don't care. I'm still pumped. Like, my level of excitement is the same.
There are movies that I hate. This is not a movie that I hate. This is a movie that I just walk out and kind of go just like, I wish it had been better. Coming in at number 2, what a great way to segue from that. Coming in at number 2, Solo, a Star Wars story, made another $15.1 million. Neil, you've been sick all this time that we've had this hot Solo talk and the state of the Star Wars franchise. What are your thoughts about where Solo is now and the state of the Star Wars franchise?
You mean like financially?
Financially and just like where it's going in the future.
Well, and I like how a lot of people are making a big deal about how it hasn't really made Star Wars money. Come on. It's the first May release for Star Wars movies since 2005 with Revenge of the Sith. And I guess you could argue a summer release with the Clone Wars animated one. It was August 10th in 2008. Those were the last 2 like summer-ish releases for a Star Wars movie. Everything else has been December, where it's vacant. There's nothing going on there. It's Oscar season. Like, there aren't really a lot of big movies there, and Star Wars carved out space for themselves and have been putting a movie there every year for the last, 4, 5 years? So this is the first one that hasn't had a December release. So when you're stacking it up against those movies, it's going to be unfair, just by default, because there's already other summer blockbusters coming out. We've had Deadpool 2 to worry about. Maybe someone wanted to go see Rampage again. But there's
Is that you, Neil? Is that you just sharing your thought?
It could have been. You don't know. But I feel like if people are trying to compare it to even like Rogue One, it's not a numbered movie. It's another sort of side story. Mm-hmm. Rogue One came out in a barren landscape of no like big movies. There's probably one other blockbuster at the time when that movie came out. Solo's had to deal with like 3, 4 maybe. So the fact that it hasn't done financially as well as other Star Wars movies is not that all surprising to me. And I don't think it should be surprising to other people as well. And I think if people are trying to make a big deal out of it, they're kind of missing the point. As far as the movie went, in my opinion of it, I think it was fine. I think it was good. I liked it. There's a couple problems that I had with what's her name? Rey? Is that her name?
Well, Kira?
Kira. Sorry. Rey.
It's all right. All the Star Wars leading
okay.
ladies kind of
You're
look alike.
And they all
talked about
have a
that.
1-syllable, 3-letter name.
Yeah.
With an I. Or an A. But Kira, I liked her, but I felt like she was too wishy-washy. She should have stuck to a direction. She should have either been super in love, or feigning love for Han Solo, or she should have been like completely against getting back with him. I felt like she was sort of against it, and then leaned into it a little bit in the closet, and then like didn't, and then she twisted. And I was like, see, that's where it doesn't stick. If you're hard the whole time, and then you make that, and then you like have a heartfelt moment with him, then you win us over, and then you can cut us off, which is great. Or if you're with him the whole time, and then you cut us off, that's still okay. But because she was wishy-washy, her little character arc at the very end sort of just fell on slightly deaf ears.
Well, as you're saying, the other Star Wars films have been released during the holidays at the end of the year. Do you think Lucasfilm made a mistake putting it in the summer? Or do you think if they're going to try to make some kind of beachhead in the summer marketplace, they have to try with something, and why not start it with this film?
That's exactly why. Because 20th Century Fox is going to be starting to release Avatar movies in 2019, which is next year. And they're all in December. And it's going to be 2019, 2020, and then I think it's 2022 and 2023. So 2021 is the only December where they don't have it. And those movies might not do well domestically because of all the backlash that the first one had with its plot and how it's very derivative and all that. But internationally, it's going to destroy. It is. It's not going to not make billions of dollars overseas, especially since the Asian market has almost doubled, or maybe not doubled, maybe increased by like a fourth or so since 2009 when Avatar came out. There's so much more money that people are going to spend at movies around the world in different markets, and Avatar's going to eat it up. It's going to. So I think you're right. I think they try to create a beachhead. I think they're trying to carve out more space in the summer because they see Star Wars starting to lose a little steam. It's still a juggernaut for sure, but It's not The Force Awakens each time. That was insane amount of money. And it still didn't even get close to beating Avatar. It was like $600 million short or something globally. So I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's a beachhead. I think they're trying to carve out a lot of space in the summer like they have with Marvel movies. And now even Marvel is starting to shift more towards like late winter with Black Panther carved out its own space in February. And Captain Marvel's going to be doing the same thing this year coming up. Mm-hmm. So I think they're trying to take everything except for fall, which is DC. DC releases are usually around fall, and winter, which I think everyone's moving out of the way for Avatar.
Interesting. Yeah, that's why we need Neil Plumley on the show for that insightful analysis. Look at you. Look at you.
What can I say? It's not just a voice.
Did the dice shot annoy you at the beginning of the movie?
Which one?
The dice shot.
Not really.
Really?
I mean, I understood that it had to happen
Ugh,
because they played it up so much in
Last Jedi.
in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I was like, well, then they have to. They're stuck with it. It's not.
I don't even remember
they're forced
that,
to.
but so it
It's
didn't
a
bother
force.
me.
And did you need to know how he got his name?
That was a little bullshit, I gotta say. That was a little bullshit.
Yes.
I wish he would have just
No.
said his name. What's your name? Han Solo. Cool. Let's move on. Let's just go to the next scene. I know that a lot of people had a problem with him getting his blaster. I did not have a problem with that at all.
Because that was just played very much in the moment, and just we're moving on. We're not dwelling on it.
Yeah.
But to put like such a
Like, what's he gonna do? Walk down? What's he, Indiana Jones? He's gonna go into a secret tunnel and be like, "Oh, this is the legendary blaster that the nerds have approved." No, GTFO. He got a blaster from a dude. That's his blaster.
Yeah.
Move on.
Coming in at number 3, Deadpool 2 from Fox, another $13.65 million. And number 4, the film that was the subject of our box office bet, Hereditary,
Fui, fui, fui.
$13.037 million. With that bet, Amy Cassandra Martinez, I believe you came in at $12 million for that baby.
Really?
Yes. You bet 12. I bet 11.
I think Sarge reached out and
Yeah.
told me I won.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's fine.
Do
I'll
things
give
fall
you the
apart
win.
when I'm not here?
They
Yes,
are. They do.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
'cause I thought
Pretty
we did
much.
11 and 12, and then
But
you did high, didn't you?
Stardrew.
Yeah, Stardew says
tweeted
I
it.
won.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stardew.
Oh, well, if it's Stardrew saying it,
I
then of course
mean,
it
You know
must
they
be
keep
true.
track of it so well.
There you go.
But thank you.
Well, look at it.
Honorary
In my heart,
win.
I believe you won.
Then wait, then
you.
you lost?
No, I didn't lose. I had 11 million. So,
So
I was
who
like,
lost?
Tony? Did you lose then?
somebody shot big. I thought somebody went like 25.
I went big.
Yeah.
I thought I put in like 17. I'm checking right now. Once.
Well,
I mean,
anyway.
Yes.
I saw it.
So
we
yes,
all
we all
pretty
saw
much
it.
saw it. Wait, everybody saw it, yes?
Yeah.
Everybody saw it.
All right.
Yeah, I went 17 million.
Look at that. What I
Said
want to
Amy got
hear
11.
first,
Yeah.
Kari Lane, share your thoughts.
Well.
Stacking it.
No. Well, also one random thing. My audience was doing the stupid stuff that you're kind of doing at the clicking thing, because okay, it's like at theme parks when you go to a haunted theme park and your friends scare you, and that just ruins the overall experience of you waiting to be scared. And so I'm watching my nice, quiet audience, and other random people were doing that stupid noise, and I'm just like, can you not make that noise when they're, yeah. But it detracts from
It's
the
like
film
one every
as a
now
thing.
and
So, but whatever. I will say I was underwhelmed. I know Tony was super excited on Horror Movie News, so I was getting like, okay, well, this looks cool. And it was like at Sundance, and it was supposed to be like this super scary movie. And I was like, okay, cool, let's check it out. I didn't think it was scary at all. There were a couple visuals that were good and disturbing, which I'll give them that. I don't want to spoil it because it just came out. Yeah, there were a couple of them like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't really care about the characters, so when things happened to them, I was like, okay. Yeah, just very underwhelming. Like what, like, I think it's like the last, like, 10 minutes or something, 20 minutes. I was thinking, sitting in the theater going, okay, this could have an amazing ending and make it super cool for me right now. And then it was not as amazing. I didn't know what I wanted, but what I got was didn't win me over enough. So I'm sad to say, as a horror fan, I was very underwhelmed. Yeah.
Ooh, one clap, two
Yeah.
clap. Really? Not clap
I don't
for that.
agree, but I appreciate it.
I
There's
appreciate
specific
it.
I mean,
reasons
but I'm
it's,
not
it's,
a fan.
it's interesting to hear.
No,
Yeah.
and then I really wanted to I want to hear what people did like, and then we'd have to discuss later like more specifics. But that's something that I always found. I worked at a video store for many years. When people go, "Oh, I don't like it because it was bad or it was whatever," I'm like, no, give me specifics. Like, what are things? Like it just I felt it was lacking. I felt it
Yeah.
had potential.
To put into context too of like the whole scare factor. I mean, we're both on horror movie news. We've seen a good amount of
watched so many horror movies, yeah.
Yeah. So like the fact that you weren't that scared from it makes sense. But like Amy, you rarely watch anything horror. How'd you feel? Were you scared? Was your heart racing?
Can I pause real quick though? But and you can add if it made you feel tense, because even like those of us who watch horror movies, you can still feel like, ooh, I was still tense. Like there's very few movies that get me scared anymore, but I can sit there going, I was like, the noise one. What was that?
Quiet Place?
Thank you. That one, like not super scary, but there were moments where I was tense. Like I'm tensing up because I was anxiety for it. Like ooh, but this one I didn't really have that. So anyway. Amy, a non-horror movie super fan.
Well, here's the thing. And I don't watch multiple horror movies a month, but I used to be the kind of person that would literally like try to avoid horror movies.
Nice.
And then fun little fact, 1408 came out back in the day.
Classic.
And,
That's a good
right?
one. Yeah.
I saw it in movie
Is that
theaters.
the John
and that was-
Cusack and
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was a
I
good
know.
one.
Well, I watched that one with my eyes like just covered pretty much. And even before that, Signs was the first introduction. A couple of years ago, I binge watched like in all of October just horror
Yes.
movies. I
Yeah, I
was here
remember.
already, right? Okay, so maybe it's this last year. And it just kind of after a while, when you've seen so many, I would see multiple in one day and be like, horror movie, like I got this, it's fine. And I hadn't, besides A Quiet Place, which wasn't scary, it was tense.
Yeah.
But that's why it was just like, I hadn't had like a good horror movie. And I'm not a big scaredy cat, at least not anymore when it comes to horror movies. But this one, it keeps going, right? And then it gets to a point where it could just stop and you're like, oh, okay. But then it keeps going. You're like, okay. And now we're here. And I think that's why sometimes people just kind of got not lost, but they lost you. Because you're like, this could have been really good, but
It's
I
weird
wasn't
to be
on board.
weird. People next to me after the movie are like, WTF, they said the whole thing out. And I'm like, fair enough.
But see, I honestly was very tense, scared. It was one of those where I was like, why am I watching this? It was late at night, very late. And
Nice.
yeah, but the audience as well helped because they were gasping and I was like, wait, why? No, okay, that's why. And it just added. What?
I just mentioned, like, where are you looking when you see them gasping? Like,
Yeah,
what
literally,
am I looking at?
I had my jacket in front of me and I was like, I can do this.
Oh,
in the-
boy.
No, don't even. No.
Calm down.
No, calm down. And it was the first third of it, it's kind of slow. It's a different kind of feel.
I would tell people that too. Going
Yeah.
in, Hereditary, even if you're interested, that's fine. It's a slow burn.
But do not take that as like, okay,
That's
it's
not
really
once
boring.
it burns though,
It's-
it burns.
Which is fine. But
It's
too many
so
movies,
burning.
you should know ahead of time they're slow burns because that will make it more enjoyable.
What?
No,
I mean,
like we talked about Red Sparrow and Horror Movie News, and that one, knowing it was a slow burn, I probably enjoyed it more than I would have knowing, okay, it's gonna
I don't
be
know.
slow.
And I also suggest that if you haven't seen any trailers for it, don't watch the trailers.
Don't watch
just
trailers
go
for
in.
it, yeah.
But if you have, like, just go in with whatever you're expecting. Because I literally, whatever. But there was a lot of really cool, not even jump scares, because they don't build the music, the cheesy way where it's like,
I did
"Oh!"
appreciate that. They didn't do like noise.
Yeah,
and
that
scare.
gets annoying. So it was
That's
one of
old.
those where you're like, nothing's gonna happen. There's no crazy music. Oh my god, it's right there. That's what made it extra good for me.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that
I'm
bored me.
boring you.
That
Second,
bored
no,
me.
no, no. I'm counting. But yeah, I think as a general viewer of horror movies, not a total newbie, but not super experienced, I really enjoyed it, and I think that people should give it a shot. And it's freaking good. It is so good, and I think you should watch it at night. Honestly.
So now should we balance next to the next negative and then the next positive?
Sure.
It's fine, and then it just like goes Cuckoo Banana Pants, and you're like, it kind of reminded me of what's that? Paranormal Activity 3,
The Ghost
4?
Dimension.
Not the Ghost Dimension, but it's the one where they get involved with like the family, and they go to the other house, and they realize more things are at play.
Oh, the one with the coven at the end.
Yes, was that 3 or 4? I can't remember.
I believe it was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way that like it kind of builds up to that at the end, you're like, all right, this is kind of bonkers town. So all depends on how you want that bonkers town.
You just compared Hereditary to
Paranormal
and
Activity 3,
it hurts
man.
my heart.
There you go.
really
I
hurts
did it,
my heart.
Anthony.
They're
And in fact,
I'm
I feel
trying to
like,
provide balance, you know? We're like,
in fact, Anthony, if I had to rate it, I'd put Paranormal Activity 3 above Heredity.
I'm just gonna mute you now.
That's crap.
'Cause
No, solely on Toni Collette's performance.
Neil,
I do
get in
love
on
her.
it.
She
Get
was
in on
great.
it, Neil.
yeah.
Freaking Oscar worthy. She's a goddess. She's fantastic. I'm in love
She's
with her.
up there with like Chevy Duvall now from in The Shining, or she's up there with
yeah.
like any horror icon. She's up there now. Like
She's-
Jamie Lee
she's there
Curtis.
with like Reagan from like The Exorcist. Like
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Not
I
worthy.
felt concerned for her as like an individual that I'm like, this must have been so stressful to be at that energy level so often. And I'm like,
Goddess.
but that I definitely
And her
was great.
monologues were insane.
Yeah.
Her alone just
So Neil.
brings the movie.
Neil?
I really liked the movie. I really liked it. I would actually compare it to The Witch. If you guys have seen The Witch,
Fair. Yes.
and if you like The Witch, you'll probably like Hereditary. It's a lot of the same beats. It's the motif is like the self-destruction of a family in both movies. And there's also like something quasi-supernatural going on. So if you like The Witch, go see Hereditary because you'll probably like that too. Now getting to like the finer points of the movie, this is the writer-director Ari Aster. This is his debut feature film. And you can kind of tell. Based on like how the beats moved. I would say like some of my complaints about the movie were some scenes, the beats are a little bit too long. Specifically when she, not to give any spoilers, but when she's, Toni Collette's character is telling her husband to set one item on fire.
That goes on for a long
It does. The
I
beats
thought
are
that
a
was
little bit too long.
good.
And I get it. They sort of wanted it to play out naturally. And the camera shows that as well because it's one shot from like the foot of the stairs to like a turn to like the living room. So they planned for it to be a long take and for her to mostly do all the work. Well, for her to do half the work because his work was also stellar because he was very resistant. And I really appreciated what he was bringing to the scene as well. But yeah, they're a bit long, and that comes from, I think, from an inexperience in directing, just a little bit. I feel like I'm really eager to see his next movie because I hope that he tightens those things up because that was my problem with it. I thought it was very slow. It could have used a few more anchors of interest throughout the movie. But what I will say is the little tidbits of background you get on the characters all sort of culminate to what you find out is happening at the end. Like, again, without context, when Charlie said, was complaining about grandma, how she wanted me to be a boy, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah, makes you feel for her a little bit. But it had another action.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is very, very smart screenwriting. You really don't see that a lot. Usually those lines are just to make you feel for the character and then they're throwaways. So I was very appreciative of that. And that happened a few times. That wasn't just that one scene that happened a few times.
The whole, does that have nuts in there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a little heavy-handed.
It was.
I
yeah.
loved the heavy hand then.
Because he said D's
It was
nuts.
so...
These
No,
nuts.
I do like that it's the actress. It's Aunt Lydia from handmaid's Tale.
Oh my gosh, I was like, Aunt
I was Aunt Lydia, run!
Yes. Yeah.
It was the
She was
disturbing
great.
parts were
Fantastic.
pretty disturbing, though they were a little too few and far between.
Yes.
And the ones that were there were sort of culminated near the end.
Yes.
I feel like the marketing is doing a little bit of a disservice to the movie, or maybe like a medium disservice to
Oh
the
my
movie,
God.
because it's saying like this is the most disturbing
Yeah.
horror movie of all time, like the most modern, disturbing
I
horror
wonder who
classic.
these reviewers are that we're all saying that.
Well, I understand what they mean, but it's so much like The Witch, and they weren't saying these things about The Witch. So I'm like, you should have just done what they did with The Witch, where it's like, it's good. It's a solidly written, acted, casted movie. It's shot really well. Cinematography is kind of bonkers at times, but it's not going to be your Gore-Tex slasher flick. It's not. It's a family self-destructing and slow. So
Yeah.
if you know that going in, you might like it.
Well, see, and I would say that by it starting off slow, people are like, whatever, wimps. People are going to actually get scared of this. And then you kind of just let your guard down. And I think that's what happened. That I was like, okay, whatever. And then when stuff starts happening, you're like, okay, I'm a little scared now. Oh, okay. Oh, this is happening. Oh, what in the world? And then they just keep going. But by it starting,
I would imagine that's Amy just showed you her real life reactions to the film as it was going on.
It's movie reaction. You've seen my trailer reactions, the same thing. But yeah, I think that's beneficial to the film, to the audience, to like the viewers. Just bringing the guard down, not a big deal, and then wah, exactly like that.
Sadly, the person that hated it the most is Anthony in the booth. So Anthony, tear into this film. Let us know
Oh
how
my
much you
God.
hated it.
And I know we'll talk about it more in a couple days.
This was a steaming pile of gold. This movie was fantastic. I enjoyed so much of this movie. To put into context how I saw it, it was a Thursday night, a whole day's worth of work afterwards. Stephen Lemieux and I went to go see it at a midnight screening. No, it was actually 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
What were
it
you
was
wearing?
a Thursday night, and I was wearing my pink tank top that you like, Frank.
I like that.
And,
It brings out your eyes.
And so there was barely anyone in the theater with us, really. It was when we walked in, we thought if it was still happening because it was so empty. But anyways, we saw it.
What seats did you sit in?
My God, it's so good. This is a film that respects the viewers, unlike anything I've seen. It's so smart. It's so well crafted. It's shot so well. You're laughing. That's fine.
No, I just was like, we'll have to get into more on horror movies because I'm like, I want more explanation.
Yeah, I'll destroy you on that too. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Please, I want that because
This is one of the it's good because, all right, well, the essence of the film really lies within Toni Collette.
Yes.
The film is nothing without her.
yeah, no, she's
Her
amazing.
and Alex are phenomenal. They creep me the hell out. I hate the hype around this movie because it's definitely hurting the movie. I wouldn't go to say it's the scariest movie, and you get people like Kari who like believe it and go in and want to get scared, and then they're disappointed when they're not scared. So the thing is, you don't buy into the hype. You don't. You just watch the movie. You just think it's a good movie. And this is set everything aside from the genre and everything else. This is a solid film. Like this is a great film.
Oh, well, look at that. Words to live by from Anthony.
I think it's timing of it. Films. Oh, actually, wait. Now that you mentioned, so Hereditary was at Sundance. Searching was at Sundance, and then actually that one I haven't heard about that coming out yet. Summer of '84. I saw Searching later, and I saw Summer of '84, and I like those I loved, and they got praise at Sundance. And then I saw Hereditary now, and I'm like, anyway. But side note, Searching, that's actually more intense thriller, and there's nothing supernatural in that one.
Searching looks pretty intense.
The trailer just dropped. I'm so excited.
And
so you guys need to
starring
see
John
it.
Cho.
Yes, he's amazing. So if you guys
how he's
haven't seen
built
that
now.
yet. But, side note.
I also, which one did I see? But I saw the trailer for Unfriended 2, The Dark
No.
Web.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. All right.
Also, Sense8 finale dropped on Friday. If you guys haven't watched Sense8, you need to hurry up and watch it, and the finale is amazing.
Halloween 2018 official trailer.
Yes. What did you guys?
Ah!
You thumbs down? Check out that trailer?
Damn, Neil.
Neil, interesting. What did you not like about that trailer?
Yeah, it's like whatever.
She knows the bus. That was my problem. I mean, there's a few problems. But of course, there's a bus crash in the trailer. Of
course.
Where all the prisoners get out. All of them. It's not like any other bus crash where it just crashes and their cells inside the bus remain intact. It's flipped. Of course, you know, when a prison bus goes on its side, everything is defunct and you can just easily escape. which is what everyone does. But
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing that got me was when in the following shot in the trailer, she's shaking like her grandchild or something. She's like, the bus crashed. And then like her daughter, someone walks in, she's like, what bus, Mom? And me and my boss were watching this trailer and we paused it and we're like, she knows the bus? Like she's just aware of the bus? How are they going to
fine.
spell this out?
Well, I mean, I
Like,
guess
she just keeps tabs on the bus. Also, why are they transferring all of these people? Because the faces, like you can recognize some of the people were in the same prison that he was. Why are they just moving all of them at the same time? Stop it.
Saving
Stop
gas.
it.
They're carpooling.
That's Freddy versus Jason bullshit, and I'm not standing for it.
Well, how about that nice shot though of the prison yard?
I like it.
That was a beautiful shot.
It was a really nice shot.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
creepy.
why were all the dogs barking? And why was
Something's
everyone
up.
laughing?
The evil presence around the
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah, he's pulling
It's
out
just
that
a
mask.
guy.
The shape.
It's a guy in a mask.
It's a shape.
It's
Whoa.
something in here.
Neil, it's the shape.
Well, hey, real quick, somebody in the chat was pointing out Hotel Artemis. We didn't talk about that, and a few of us saw that. So
Yes.
I was like,
Yes, we
wait,
will.
did you see that?
No.
Okay, two of us saw it.
Yeah.
Wait, Tony, do you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, no, got half our table.
Yeah, hold on. Artemis, I felt the same way about. Well, actually, no, I think a little bit like Ocean's 8, where the premise is really cool. Actually, you know what? I probably would put it above Ocean's 8 just because it's a fresh concept, as opposed to Ocean's 8, where it's a heist film. It's kind of that same universe, but it's just it tees you up to you wanting to see something awesome at the end, and then really underdelivers.
Kind of agree. Yeah, I feel that one. I would say I enjoyed it. The trailer makes it way cooler than it actually is, but I think you should lower your expectations. Like, there's good action. I like the world that they've kind of placed, but they don't tell you a whole lot of context, but that's fine. I like the environment. The characters are fun. There's some awesome action sequences. Actually, a lot of interesting humor too that was pleasantly surprising, like, you know, because it's the you're bleeding, or, you know, something where it's not really supposed to be funny, but that was funny. All the quirky characters, it's very quirky. It's a quirky, like, not post-apocalyptic, but kind of in that realm. And yeah, the ending isn't like grandiose per se, but that's kind of okay. It's not really, it's something that, but it's a little, the trailer makes it like here energy level. It's a little more like, oh, cool, you know. So just go in a little lower of those expectations, because I know we talked about the trailer and we were like, oh, it's not the way Upgrade. That trailer was as much as I loved it. I feel Hotel Artemis, the trailer was here, and then I was a little bit more like here. But I still recommend people see that one. That one was pretty fun, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Hotel
David
Artemis.
Bautista was good. Jodie Foster was good. Their relationship was good. Again, I think part of my underwhelmingness is with Dave Bautista. Like, you feel like he's getting teed up to be
Yeah, he could
to
have been
have
in
his
it
moment.
more.
And just how he's served at the end of the film, and just even the way that everything is shot is kind of underwhelming.
Well, it teases there can be more-ish. And there's kind of a little bit, not quite post-credits, but you think it's over, and then there's a little bit more footage, but there's nothing at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still worth a watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with Carrie. Going with your expectations lowered.
A little bit.
And running out of top 5, Avengers: Infinity War, another $6.8 million. Folks, we're running out of time, but you know what? There's still always time to bet on next week's box office bet. There are 2 films vying for your hot vote in the chat, and that's Incredibles 2 on 4,200 screens, and a little film called Tag
You're it.
from Warner Brothers on 3,300 plus screens. So, which one would you like us to do the box office bet for? Let us know in the chat. But while we do that, we'll break down what we think is going to be next week's top 5 with these 2 films entering the mix. Do you see...
Incredibles 2.
Yes,
It's
I
number
don't-
1.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that everybody's buzzed, and the initial reactions from people seeing it has been fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
It's been incredible.
Amy, you're...
Well, come on. I'm surprised you didn't say. You're welcome.
Ocean's 8, how do you think that holds up on a second week? Does it stay at number 2? Does Tag possibly come in?
I think Tag could come in, because, okay, that's one where that trailer you kind of go, this looks really stupid, but maybe really funny.
But is there anything like super stupid in theaters right now that if you just don't want to
Well, like,
think, you know, you just go-
Blockers did pretty well, too, and that was kind of stupid comedy.
Yeah,
And that one was actually pretty funny.
it's so good. I really liked it.
I don't know. I think it'll be a fun watch. I have a feeling Ocean's 8 will still hold on to number 2.
2?
I think you're right.
And I think Tag will come in at 3. Then I think it's just Solo, Deadpool. Yeah, that's it. So Incredibles, Ocean's 8, Tag, Solo, and Deadpool 2. That's what I think my
Same.
top 5 would be.
I'll be different. I'll be contrary. I'll go with Incredibles, Tag, Oceans, Solo, Deadpool. Sorry, bumping that Hereditary out of there.
Ooh.
You're not that sorry.
Not really.
No.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Neil, you have any differences there?
Yeah. Incredibles, Oceans, Tag, Solo, Deadpool.
Well, look at that. That was a beautiful pick. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yep. That's the same.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our box office bet. And of course, the way that works is that you're going to vote on a film, either Incredibles 2, or Tag. We're going to bet on what we think the opening box office gross will be. The person that's closest will be the prognosticator or prognosticators, like Kari Lane is this week. Look how happy she is. Look what winning that title can do to you there. Look at the glow.
Yeah.
And then
What's
the
this
loser
golden light? You know?
will have to go and see this movie and tell us all about it. So while you're chiming away in there, just for everybody else, Incredibles, when it opened up back in 2004, it opened up to $70.4 million. Do you think this will do better?
Yes. Mm-hmm. No?
No,
I do.
You don't think so? Why is that?
because
But I think of the Pixar films, I think this is one that people have been clamoring for a sequel for the longest time. And I know that we've talked about we've covered a lot of films that have come back after a really long hiatus with a sequel to underwhelming results. But I don't think Incredibles 2 is going to be that, especially now with this word of mouth I'm hearing as well too, that it's really delivering.
Also, it's all the people who saw it before, so you got their nostalgia points, and then depending on their age, they have kids, so they're going to take their kids too. So get
But
those
Neil?
numbers.
What makes you think that it will not deliver?
I think it'll deliver about 70 million, which
Maybe
is pretty good for this environment.
because of everything else that's in theaters, that it's a little
Family friendly though.
Exactly.
Family friendly always
What,
does
Deadpool
well.
2?
I did see some kids with their mom like getting ready, like they look young teenager going to see it, but still it was like, Mom, do you know how much it's what this movie is?
We saw a few kids in Hereditary today,
Whoa.
like 13 years old,
great.
probably,
All right.
like Charlie's age.
Perfect. Let's go
Yeah.
driving, everybody, after the show. There you go. Watch out for those polls. All right.
right.
Anthony,
Ken
what are we
Jack-
looking at here in the chat, everybody?
Ken Jack said it was Incredibles.
Incredibles 2. All right.
Incredibles is now up 4-3.
All right, then Incredibles 2 it is.
We all said it's number one, so
yeah.
why not?
So there you go. We're going to shoot for the moon on this. Just how much of a number one will it be?
It was 70 before.
70.4 million back in 2004.
I have no idea.
I want to think
I'm
optimistically.
gonna go very
Yeah.
optimistic.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
It's a good jumping off base.
All right.
I have no idea what to do.
Everybody have Neil is
Yeah.
Neil, your boy, is typing our stuff up. You ready to go, Neil?
Boy,
Anthony, do you have a number, sir?
I have no idea what to guess.
Well, guess away, sir.
Oh shit. All right. 85.
Okay.
Oh, nice. All right.
That's very nice.
There you go. Amy Cassandra.
Well, 85?
All right. Kari Lane.
95.
Oh. Ha, I did 85.
Ah, wow.
What is happening?
you guys gotta laugh.
And Neil.
85.
84.5.
No way.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
So you're I'm the high, and they're twins, and
That's
Tony's
great.
Triplet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wowie, wow.
Triplets.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be quite the competition.
Collusion. I say collusion.
Uh-oh. We will not admit to any Russian tampering of this box office bet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. But as always, folks, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and give us a thumbs up while you're there, or 2, or 3, or 4, however many that you have. And thanks everybody for hopping into the chat. As always, we couldn't do the show without you and your witty insights and your really cool facts and information. But if you're watching this after it streams live, Kari, what can they do?
Since Incredibles 2 coming out next weekend, let's ask the question, what is your favorite Pixar movie? Comment down below.
If anybody says Cars, I'll be sad.
Hey, Cars 1 is good.
Oh, actually, no, Cars. I'll give you
Yeah,
Cars, right? Cars 2.
one.
Cars 2. If you say Cars 2, get out of
Okay.
here. That's a rough watch.
The good dinosaur.
What? Anthony.
No, I'm kidding.
Come on now.
Toy Story.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to stay in touch with us even after the show is over, Anthony in the booth, where can they find you, sir?
Yes, you can find me everywhere at Tony B Tony _ My name was Anthony Becerra, and Hereditary is awesome. That's it.
What's up, everyone? Sorry I had to drag through my vocal cords this evening. You can find me at places where people are found at the Neil Plumley. That's THENEILPLUMLEY. Also, a quick shout out. I had some friends watching tonight. Caitlin and Ryan Faroki. What's up, y'all? It's good to see you.
I knew you can't see them.
But they can see
That's
you.
what thinks.
Oh, okay.
You guys look good.
That's really scary, actually. Yes, I'm Amy Cassandra Martinez. You can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ. So thank you so much for watching, and that's it. For me.
Anthony, that's not the same when she
I
does that
know.
without you saying
I
nailed
know.
it.
I was kind of waiting for it. She's
like-
just not impressed anymore.
I didn't know that.
That's
Sorry.
whatever.
What? What do
My
you mean
life
you
is
didn't
over.
know?
I
to do
didn't
that?
nail it. I didn't nail it.
Oh, man. It's a
I was
package
distracted,
deal,
I'm
Anthony.
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Do it again.
MTZ.
Nailed it.
Yay! And then my name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. We'll be back next Sunday night. Will Neil's voice be here as well? Who knows? Uh-oh. It's looking a little dicey. Until then, go see some movies, everybody.
Goodbye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.